In this editing exercise, I'm going to be showing you how to add in effective dialogue. In the editing choice board, I've added in a link to a YouTube clip that also goes into greater detail on how to create effective dialogue and the purpose of dialogue. My simplified way of doing it is to follow this formula: experience plus response equals outcome, or E plus R equals O. In that formula, the character does something or something is done to them, the character has a response, and the conversation has an outcome. And so, as writers, our job is, our responsibility is to either reveal more of the character or more of the plot. And especially as the character interacts with other people, we want to make sure that the dialogue is effective. And so that's why the conversation has to have an outcome. So here's my draft. I'm going to be using this opportunity right here that's highlighted in pink. Each meeting was for the purpose of being accepted, nothing more, nothing less. It was his opportunity to meet a family he had never seen before. In their eyes, maybe he was famous. After all, he did come with a check every month. So I'm going to use my E plus R equals O. My E is he would walk in, and it was always the same conversation. So him walking in is my E. My R is going to be the dialogue. He walks in, people react to him, so welcome. E plus R. Now we have to have that equal reaction by the character, by the same person who's receiving the dialogue. So somebody else says, welcome, we're glad that you're here. Again, the role and responsibility is to pull along a little bit of the plot, pull along a little bit of the character. So I added in, he would respond while looking at the ground. Thanks. Then his eyes would wander around the room. They would mostly catch the family pictures on the wall. It was his way of seeing how he would fit in. I'm going to add in a couple details here. I added in one more piece of dialogue, and now I'm at my O, the outcome. So, welcome, we're glad that you're here. He would respond by looking at the ground. Thanks. I give it some character description, and I also pulled along the plot with my R, and now my O. The outcome that I want to have is, in this situation, uh, I want to connect it back to the the person that he's going to meet in the coffee shop. So a little bit more difficult. So let me think about this conversation. Welcome. We are glad that you're here. He would respond by looking at the ground. Thanks. Then his eyes would wander around the room. They would mostly catch the family pictures on the wall. It was his way of seeing how he would fit in. Larger families would have him the opportunity to be a little lost. The smaller ones meant he had to be on his best behavior. Only child homes were always difficult. Tell us about yourself. Awkwardness. Awkwardness never left. The outcome of this conversation is that you, as the reader, and me, as the writer, are going to recognize how awkward this conversation is for him and for the people around him, similar to the one that he would have with the stranger who's following him in the coffee shop. I look forward to seeing your edits. Before you go, just know that with dialogue, the key is to keep it short and simple. Also, to be sure that all of the words that you're choosing reveal either something about the character or something about the plot.